What's up, everybody? I'm Josh.
I'm Dan.
And we're the Cin-City Heartbreakers. Tonight, we've got an awesome show with 6 amazing guests that are some of the toughest competition in the NFFC. And, really honored to get them to join us. We're in the middle of online championship season. PrimeTime lives are kicking off online, and 6 of these guys have given us, going to give us 15-20 minutes of their time tonight to talk about their partnerships and talk about the big tag team takedown this Wednesday, Dan. We're 2 days away, and it really felt like this morning it just took off. The Twitter wars are started.
The shit talking has escalated
tremendously
this week.
Tremendously.
I just sitting there thinking today, like, when was our first podcast? Like 6-7 weeks ago, I think it was.
Yeah.
And you threw out this idea, the tag teams, let's get some new players involved. And then fast forward to 3 or 4 weeks ago, we've got however many online overall champions and Hall of Famers, and it's just incredible. And even today, we've got, I think, 4 total overall champs, right?
Yeah.
And the amount of leagues won, I don't even know if I could count. So
4
it's
overall
exciting.
champs, 2 Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
A load of leagues that have been won by these 6 guys. Exciting stuff. And, all 3 partnerships that they have are different, one from the next. And, but really cool at the same time. So I got to throw something up here for the viewers, Dan.
Go for it.
The guy that kind of kicked off the Twitter war this morning.
Yeah, with the meme of the day. If you haven't been on Twitter, please go. But go ahead, Josh.
Go to Mike Sandman62 on X.
Scroll across the bar.
He discovered AI, and he is his information is on the ticker on the top there. He started Twitter war amongst all these teams, and he's the one guy that said, no, I've got too many teams with too many partners. I'm not getting in it. But he's sitting back, and I messaged him, and I said, look, sharing your information tonight, you're the instigator and the insider. He's the guy that on the live streams, he throws in, is this the max position that this guy's been drafted at? Is it the min position he's been drafted at? So follow Mike Sanda on Twitter, on X, and you're going to see some really funny stuff that he's doing over there, at least for the next couple days, to instigate some rivalries that are going on in this tag team hell in a cell, really, which is what Dan's got for the background tonight.
Yeah, I really didn't know what to expect when all these guys come together, but the amount of excitement that we've seen, like you said today, you know me at work, I don't stop and look at my personal phone at all. And I looked at 8:30 and I had like 50 notifications. And when I saw that picture of the Gamburglar, friend of the pod, Mike Gamberg, as the Gamburglar, I sent it to you instantly, and I couldn't stop laughing. Like, that was so awesome. So it's just been going back and forth, and me and you were talking on the way on my way home today, and it's like, who's the favorite of these group of 12 teams? Like, there are so many good players out there that it's just gonna be awesome. This draft's gonna be so cool. We'll get to talk to the guys about it, but I don't even know what to expect.
Yeah, you really don't know what to expect. The idea of getting some new people involved in the NFFC high stakes, with the discount that they're offering for first-time users of $100 back, and do a 350 OC as a team. You're only out $125 at that point each, and it really, I've said it before, it backfired on us because we are still the new guys in this draft. We're the fresh blood. We're the I think Joe Carlton at Points by Hand Carlton, he's actually working on the odds and doing some research of how many leagues and overall championships these guys have won combined on their teams and stuff like that. So the best part about it is everybody's having fun. It's brought out a lot of character for for each guy, and everybody's having fun with it, and really looking forward to Wednesday night at 9. So there's going to be 5 streams. We had one of the streamers had to drop off. They're not going to be in a position where they're able to stream. So we've got Nelson Souza and Joey Brown. They're hosting Steve G, the Fantasy Soprano, the Greek in the Street, and Mike, the Gamberg, that team. Joe Carlton, and they'll be on FTN on that YouTube channel. I've got the links in the post. Joe Carlton, Steve D'Angelo, they're hosting Duke Viveros and Steve Shumway over at the Sports Affiliation YouTube. We've got Paul Spiteri and Maddie Modica, or last night he said it was actually pronounced Modica. Like, I don't even know. Those guys are hilarious. I called them the peanut butter and jelly last night of live streams, and they had probably the funniest 1-minute spot in that live stream when Matt's headphones went out, and Paul freaked out and drafted Cam Ward about 3 rounds way too early, and it was I was in tears. I was laughing so hard. And then we've got Doc Roto's YouTube channel. Doc Roto and Jay Wimmers, they'll be hosting Billy Waz and Wil Miles on that channel. And then right here at Fantasy Savvy YouTube, we're going to have our guests tonight, Jerroll and Kyle Hillesheim, and Will Hobbs and Evangelo. I believe it's Lilas. I just know it's Ruthless on Twitter, and Hobbs is the Prophet, and I think together they have become the Ruthless Prophet, which to me sounds like a pretty good tag team name. But so all of those links are in the X posts. We've tagged everybody in it. Theo Grimminger and Dan Williamson, they're not able to be live, but they are drafting. So just as good old JR would say, a slobber knocker of a draft is going to happen Wednesday night, and you're going to be able to go back. You can watch it, from 5 different viewpoints with at least 22 of the guys in it, and get to hear, their personal takes. At the end of each draft, everybody's going to be, reviewing the boards and kind of saying, hey, this is the team that I like, or this team looks good, or why did those guys draft Brenton Strange in the 3rd round? So without further ado, Dan, let's bring on 2 guys.
Yeah, for sure.
In Vegas. I think it was like the 2nd day of drafts out there.
I think it was after our first ever draft when we were outside.
Is that what it was?
That was when the Bellagio year. Okay.
So we were outside, and I believe Jerry had on a Raiders jersey, or maybe Kyle did. I can't remember. I immediately thought that they were either from California or Las Vegas. I didn't know. And come to find out, they were the reigning overall champions of the PrimeTime event. And they just instantly became friends of ours. So really excited to get to bring them on with us. So there's Kyle. There's Jerry.
Hey, guys.
How you guys doing?
What's going on, guys?
Good, guys. Good. Appreciate you guys having us on tonight.
Absolutely. So guys, tell us a little bit about how you guys got into the high stakes, or if you guys were, as a father-son team, were you guys teaming up in just home leagues before this, or was this just a fluke that kind of happened out in Vegas? You teamed up and started kicking people's butts.
Yeah, I think Dad, back 2016 or something like that, you first
2017 or so, a buddy of mine, Scott Nelson, buddy of mine, basically customer, talking to him while I was in his office. He's a chiropractor, and basically he said, hey, you guys are good enough just talking shop to get out to Vegas and compete with all these other guys. So he kind of just needed to say that for a little nudge for us to go out to Vegas, and it was one of the best decisions ever as far as get out and meet a great community with Greg, Tom, and Jeff, and just been every year meeting more and more good people, good friends. So
I think we didn't really play together before then, and probably the first couple of years it was mostly you, and then the last like 2019, 2020, I started to get really into it, and honestly kind of just took off from there, because I think it's one of those things where once you start, it's the floodgates open, right?
Yeah.
It's addicting.
One question I had for you guys is I'm sure you've got a ton of teams this year, and the past couple of years I've seen how much you draft. But tell us a little bit about the year you guys won and how many entries you have. Because there's people out there that are just playing an entry or two. So if you could tell us a little bit about that. And Kyle, the story you were telling off air, I think is a great story for anybody that's new and wants to get into the high stakes.
Yeah, we had only really done one team a year for most of that time, maybe two. And going into that year, we only had two teams. And it got to we did our second draft, and I think Greg said, "Hey, we're trying to squeeze one more draft in this year to see how many we can get in." And we looked at each other and we decided, well, let's do one more, and got in the very last draft that Saturday night before the games, and that ended up being the big one, the overall winner. And I think it was funny because we decided to get in that last minute, had never done more than one or two drafts before, so that was a little bit of a step up for us. And we were sitting in a room right next to a live draft, drinking all of Greg's beer, because we could just walk over, or we could have the waitress come over to us, bring us bring us beer. And so between the overall prize money and drinking all of Greg's beer, it was a good entry. We'll say that.
I'm guessing we drank more beer in the back room than the entire room that was drafting live next to us.
No, not you guys.
Taking their draft all seriously, and we're sitting here. Oh, Jonathan Taylor's there in the fourth. It was that type of draft.
You know what's really cool about that story too, that me and Josh always talk about, we were talking off air a little bit about drafting early and getting those advantages and stuff. And the national champion in 2020 was the last draft of the entire year. On Saturday night, when me and Josh are done, we're playing craps by that time already. That's really cool. I like that.
Yeah,
it was very fun that year, and every year since then we've been getting more and more teams, and it's like I say, it's been very addicting, but it's a great community out there. They do a great job, and you don't have to go out there, obviously, but I would highly recommend it. They do an outstanding job. They feed you plenty of beer. So just kudos to the entire staff out there, Greg, Tom, and Jeff anyway.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I remember you telling me, you were like, you guys will be back next year, and I was like, I don't know. And you were like, no, you'll be back. You come out here once, you're gonna come back again, and you're gonna get hooked, and you'll start buying more teams, and we have, but it's been one of the cooler experiences over the last 5-6 years, going out there, meeting people from all over the United States, and that share the same passion, as we do for fantasy football, and some people that make us realize that the passion that we thought we had, it was not as strong as others. Got a couple comments here. We got this guy here, Billy Waz. Says, "What's up, Hillesheim boys in the house?"
Miss Billy out in Vegas. Hopefully he'll be coming back out soon, but he's awesome. And the beauty out here is you don't have to win a national championship for guys like Billy, Mike Edelman, and all the other guys. They're just really down to earth. And every year it seems more and more like you're in a home league, because these guys are so genuine, and they share their time, their knowledge a little bit here and there. I don't know if they're lying to us or not, but just a great group of guys.
I know. I'm going to tell you right now, I know that Billy Waz is lying to us. He's I know he is. And just so happens Billy gets
there we go.
He gets to draft right in the 11 spot. Dan, why don't you throw the draft order up there real quick?
Yep.
if you've got
Give me
it.
just a sec, Josh. Keep talking.
All right.
I'm glad
I got
we're
it pulled
away
up, so
from
give me
Billy,
just a
but
sec.
there's no hiding in this draft.
There's no hiding. You talked about it being a home league, and I text Dan this afternoon with all of the messages and the posts on Twitter, and there's a general buzz about this league, and it's really been a lot of fun for me, to be honest with you. Somehow I got stuck being the guy that was putting the league together. I guess it was me and Dan's idea, and he was like, you kind of take the lead. Anyone that ever complains about getting 10 or 12 guys for their home draft, I don't want to hear it. We somehow coordinated with 22 other of the busiest high stakes players from across the country. Mm-hmm. And some of these guys, have their own websites and are doing hundreds of drafts, and, they're making it happen. But this really is getting the feel of just a bunch of buddies that are, they're talking smack, one to take this team down or that team down. Steve G, he keeps saying, well, me and Gambergler, we already won that league. And I'm like, well, that's the only thing I disagree with you on so far this year, Steve, is that you haven't won it yet. But he's in Greece. So here's the thing. He's all the way over in Greece, and he is jumping through hoops like crazy to make sure that he's going to be able to be on the live stream and drafting. That's awesome. So, but
Josh, I think with all the trash talk, we might have to think about, should there be some kind of loser punishment for the team that comes in last place in this league?
Well, that's been kicked around by more than just a couple of guys. And it's been talked about having the last place team get the boot. It's been talked about having the two teams that finish at the bottom. If you're below 10th place, then you're out. There's interest from guys that didn't make it in or that couldn't be in it this year. Somehow Edelman avoided this. I'm not sure.
We're okay with that.
If he was like, yeah, we are okay with that. But so I don't know. We've got to make a decision before Wednesday night for sure. I think that's the fair thing to do, is make a decision before any teams are drafted. The hard thing is Joe Carlton's putting together these odds, but me and Dan already know that we're the biggest underdogs. I mean, I think Greg had us as the biggest underdogs at 15-1, and we were like,
Greg gave us 15-1. I'll take that all day.
We'll take that all day. Yeah. So, but we will make a decision before the draft, and maybe we'll take a vote on it tonight, and see what we end up with the 6 guests that are on here. I think they pull enough rank with all the overalls that they have in the Hall of Famers we got in here. So,
and who knows? Maybe next year we graduate up to a primetime.
Oh,
now we're talking.
I mean, we're lighting $350 on fire this year.
It's only money.
And now we're talking about doing a primetime with it. Jeez. But
there's the draft order, everybody. With you guys getting 3, we got 12. The only thing good about 12 is we're only drafted by one of these teams.
What normally happens at 3? What's been happening in these OCs at the 3 spot? Is there a certain player that goes 3 almost 99.9%? Oh, that guy.
I think
if he falls to us, we'll have to take him.
Yeah. You guys have any feelings on him at all?
We love in your draft taking your boy, because I know you're
well, he ain't falling to 12.
Breaking that touchdown record of 23 to 25 this year. So it's kind of one of those things.
For anybody that's watched this show or has watched the other show on Fantasy Savvy, they know what's getting ready to happen here.
I don't have it saved.
Jerry just said that Jamar Chase could go for 25 touchdowns this year, which I think falls right in line with an epic rant that Dan went on. Dan, you want to share that with?
I don't have it live, so there's not as much bourbon involved as there was that night. But in 2013, Peyton Manning threw 55 touchdowns. Joe Burrow in 2026 is going to beat that. He's going to throw 56 touchdowns this year. I'm telling you, the guy, Josh, get your hands off your head. The guy is pissed off. He's ready to go. I'm telling you, this is the Bengals year. So Jamar Chase, if you took him at 1, I wouldn't fault you. I think him, T. Higgins, Chase Brown, they are some of the biggest values that you can get out there.
And we may not get him at 3. You just don't know.
Now that you talked him up so much, maybe not.
Oh, it's the jinx coming. I jinx everybody.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't draft Jamar Chase in a $3 DraftKings baseball after Dan's making those kind of predictions. It just doesn't. Doesn't end well.
Pretty chalk the first several picks, obviously, and then it kind of
Steve?
Changes up. But we'll see what happens. I think you're going to see a lot of people in this draft. They're going to go get the players they want, just like out in Vegas, where you get out there, you think you know what's going to happen, and you don't.
Yeah, a lot of guys in this draft together a lot too. And so there's a lot of people understand what players everybody likes, the builds people like to do. So
that's a good point that you guys bring up. So that's one of the most exciting parts about Vegas. Like, I mean, here with the live streams and so many live streams this year, I laugh and joke about Paul and Matt being, they're absolute characters, but we do get to see everybody's personalities more on the live streams. When you're in Vegas, like, it's business. Those draft rooms are quiet,
Yeah.
and people aren't really talking. You got some whispering going on. But that's what I like about that weekend. And then you get that free look, but it's everybody's last drafts of the season. And it's the draft Super Bowl weekend, really. And it's like, I'm going to go get my guy that I haven't got to get very much of. And we're going to get him. I don't care where he's at in the draft. I'm going to make sure I get him. And that's what this is going to really be, a sneak peek. I really feel like this is going to give a lot of the viewers across all 5 streams a sneak peek into what it's like when we do go out there to Vegas and get in those last few days of drafts before the season starts.
I think it's going to be really cool too. In Vegas, like you said, everybody's whispering. You're not hearing conversations. You got 5 streams. You're going to hear people talking out a lot of scenarios, or like you guys said, pulling guys up and just seeing what goes through some of these guys' minds. And like you guys said, like, some of these guys have played together in the past. Some guys are friends and maybe they split a team or two, but they're not used to doing that. So just kind of hearing how these guys work things out, I think it's going to be a really cool feature of having all the streams. It's going to take me 3 days to probably watch them all, but it's going to be really cool.
Let's Dan, can you pull that down? If you pull that down, I can throw up a couple comments here real quick.
Yeah.
And let's let Jerry and Kyle answer a question here. So
really curious on this one.
Yeah, Mike McDaniel said there's going to be a 3-back committee with Hampton, Mitchell, and Vidal. Smooth C 3012 says, is that going to lower Hampton's value?
Well, I'll let my dad answer this one, because my dad's been we got to take Hampton in every draft kind of guy, and I'm
somebody like that too.
I'm kind of sitting here going, if he's there in the middle of the second, maybe, I don't know.
No, I agree. It's you don't know until you know, so it's going to be one of those things. There's still a few weeks left to go. There might be some injuries that are going to change everything, but I'll be real honest with you. I've been kind of letting Kyle do the heavy lifting on these drafts. He's much more in tune than I am, and drafts a lot more than I do. But I like Hampton a lot, and do I take him in the first round? Probably not. But we'll see what happens with that offense. I think they're going to score a lot of points, obviously.
That's the thing, is it's really who's going to get goal line work, and is there just frankly enough scoring for it not to matter? And let's be honest, these coaches say whatever. And so you're betting on, a breakout on a good offensive line, a good offense overall. It's a bit of a parlay in my mind for him to succeed. But could I see him scoring 14, 15 touchdowns this year? Yeah, definitely. So I don't think he's a bad pick by any means.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of coach speak, a lot of second week camp speak right there. I mean, a 3-headed monster. Let's go with the hot hand, but we're not going to see 30%, 30%, 30% of snaps. It's not going to happen. It's still going to be Hampton's going to get the majority of them. Maybe it's a little bit reduced, but I think the guy's super talented, and he, even if they start out, a little bit lower volume for him, he'll earn it, or he'll capitalize on the touches that he's got.
Yeah,
It's all about who's getting those value touches. Is he getting the touches inside the 10, inside the 5? So,
yep.
Going to be real interesting Wednesday. If he falls a couple spots, we may have a decision to make, Josh, at 12.
Yeah.
And it's the dynamics of the coaches too, because McDaniels has proven he hasn't been afraid to run up the score, but will it be
very true
Hampton in there when they're up, whatever, against some of the teams that they're playing? But excited for that team and think they're going to put up a lot of points, obviously. But you've got Ladd and you've got a lot of talent on that team, so there's plenty of room for spreading it around. But they should be ahead in most games, I would think, or a lot of games anyway, and real competitive division.
We saw him split a lot between Achane and Mostert when he had both of them, right? And so it's not like he's afraid to use a split backfield.
What's up, Jamie?
But again, I don't think Kamani Vidal and Omarion Hampton are in the same realm of talent. So we'll see if that holds true.
So let's compare. Let's stay in the same city, in the same stadium, and compare another backfield with Kyron and Corum. Both of those, I think everybody's in agreement that Corum's got standalone value there. Do you think that Vidal could pull himself up to where he's got some pretty good standalone value, or he's going to need an injury from Hampton for him to get himself up there?
He's probably going to – I mean, when are you going to feel comfortable starting him in that three-headed backfield? I just don't think he's going to get probably enough touches for him to be comparable to that personally. And also with the Rams, they have blowout potential, right? They get ahead by 25 points in the fourth quarter, and Kyron may not touch another ball. And so I do think it's pretty different personally. And I think Vidal is a perfectly fine draft pick. I don't think you're starting him relatively early. In the draft capital reflects that, right? I've seen Corum go in the 6th, 7th round in some of these drafts now versus Vidal you can get at the tail end. So I think the question will be, can Keaton Mitchell get standalone value? Like, is that going to be reliable enough, or is he strictly going to be a better and best ball type of player?
Yeah.
Yeah, he pops along one the first game or two. There's going to be a lot of guys that are going to be happy they have him, obviously, but they're going to consider starting him. And I think that's one of those hit and miss type players for depending on the floor every week.
Yeah, for sure. Keaton Mitchell, they keep showing these highlights of him catching 40-yard bombs down the side.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree with you, Jerry.
I can say this right now because I know he's not watching, because he said that the 8:00 online championship is dragging. But Chris Vacation Vacarro needs us to, he said, can you give me an extra 5 or 10 minutes? Absolutely, Chris. For you, we can do that.
Is he on his honeymoon, or what's going on there? I'm quite sure.
On his honeymoon, I'll tell you, there's going to be questions for him. There's going to be questions when he comes on. We've got connections at TMZ, and they've got boots on the ground around the fantasy empire, and we're hearing some grumbling. So I can't wait to get Chris on here.
Maybe we'll get
I
invited
wish
if he's out there with misses and getting married. You don't know.
Yeah, a lot of comparisons to a certain tight end. Big name in the industry in the NFL, and now he's gotten married. Was Kelsey a little distracted the last couple of years? We don't know. Was he out of football shape? Is Vaccaro going to be out of drafting shape? We don't know these things, and we're gonna try to get to the bottom of it tonight. So,
a little plug for Paul and Matt. We're going to be drafting later with those guys tonight, and what a job they've done, just like yourselves. Awesome we, the fantasy community, really appreciate what you guys are doing, because you're just spreading the word that much more and educating so many people. And I just hope a lot of people that have been on the fence jump in, because it's a great community and we'd love to have you.
Absolutely. I'm glad you brought that up. So in the X post for this show, I put in the comments the link for Paul and Maddie's live stream that's coming up at 10 o'clock after our show goes off. I appreciate them not doing it at 8 and preempting us like they did earlier this year. That's all right. It caused there was a little bit of division, between us, but that's okay. We've worked it out. But Paul's working hard on that, and he's actually got a guy from the radio, I believe, in Denver, and he's an insider. So they're going to give us some insights on the Broncos, which will be nice, because there's helpful. A little bit of news today on J.K. Dobbins maybe getting injured. No one's surprised by that. We know he's going to get injured. It's just a matter of is it now? Is it later? Is it now and later? And somewhere in between, we don't know. But when he's healthy, he's solid.
When he's healthy, he's solid. But by his draft capital, you wouldn't think there was that much concern about injury. So.
I think he has. I'll compare him to Keenan Allen last year. I said, hey, Dan, let's take Keenan Allen. I think he's got 6 good weeks in him. I think we were hoping that Dobbins, can he get 6 good weeks out of himself?
Yeah.
See how Jonah Coleman comes along, and does RJ Harvey have a place in this offense this year? Are they actually going to throw him the ball and get him involved?
Guy had 50 catches last year. Of course he has a place in the offense. He's a second year player. I think RJ Harvey will be just
this fine. Guy was looking for 85 catches.
Yeah.
Speaking of Keenan Allen, does he possibly go to Indy for and have those 6-7 weeks like you mentioned, as far as help them out through the beginning of the season?
They definitely might need something.
I think I speak for everyone when I say we hope not. So,
boy, it's not sounding good for Alec Pierce. I mean, Downs, I haven't followed real close. I'm not super worried about, but I am not excited about Alec Pierce at all right now.
Yeah, Alec Pierce gives me the vibes of Chris Godwin last summer. Ankle injury, second surgery. Godwin was kind of hobbling along, wasn't great, and then ultimately started out on the PUP and really didn't hear much. But Tampa Bay doesn't like to give you much information anyway, so.
It's hard. Alec Pierce, even with the PUP news and everything else, I thought we'd get more of a discount.
Yeah,
he doesn't seem to fall ever to where I'm comfortable picking him over a lot of the guys that go around him. So I'd love to be able to grab him at a discount, but I don't think we're going to get it until they announce he's out for the first 4 or 6 weeks.
We're going to have to stash him for a while, I believe. Yeah. So that discount may come in Vegas.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, guys, our next guests are waiting in the so-called green room. Appreciate you guys coming on. We'll definitely be having you guys back and talking some more. Maybe in season, maybe again before the season, before Vegas. And appreciate you guys and the friendship that you guys have been to me and Dan and out in Vegas watching football together and drafting together, and just been a great time. So appreciate you guys coming on.
You guys are awesome, and good luck to everyone. All right. Thanks.
Good luck Wednesday, guys. There's nothing wrong with second place.
All right, take care, guys.
See ya.
You too.
So Josh, how do you follow up a tag team that has 1 overall championship?
Well, Dan, I think he followed up with 2 overall championships.
There you go. There's your set. I'm the setup guy today.
All right, so here we go. We've got Billy Wasosky, the 2021 online overall champion for the online championship, which is the contest that the tag team takedowns in. He's also a Hall of Famer. He was the 2019 NFFC Playoff Challenge champion. He was the 1995 Sporting News Fantasy Challenge champion. Back then, Dan, you had to take your lineup by horse and buggy.
Oh, it was
down to the mail carrier, and then Pony Express took it to the headquarters for the.
That was the best. I think when we were on the pod with Billy and Joe that one time, we talked about this, but that was the greatest era of fantasy football, mostly because you could have the biggest advantage. But I digress.
Yeah. And then his partner, Wil Miles, the 2023 NFFC Online Championship overall champion. So let's go ahead and bring him on.
Bring him on.
There's Billy. There's Will. How you doing, guys?
What's up,
Good,
guys?
good.
Well,
We're excited.
yeah.
Hey, I know you said some of our criteria. We're obviously very excited. I'm about to post this on Twitter. Can I just share a little advertisement?
Oh, shit.
Here we go. Willie's so good with these things. These young guys, they can do this. This is epic, though. What? This is great. He showed this to me 5 minutes ago.
If you can see it, I don't know if you can.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go ahead and bring it up. There we go.
Oh,
obviously, we love.
Who is that guy on the left?
I don't know. I look at it's. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Looks like I got some Botox or something, but I like
looking good there.
That was back in 2021, Billy, when you won it.
Yeah,
about five
fantasy
years
has
ago.
aged me that much in 5 years.
Yeah. I thank God for AI. I mean, what would we be doing? Drawing pictures and posting them on X today? Mike Sanders just going nuts. Now Will's done this. I heard last night that Edelman is quite gifted.
He is.
In
Very
AI.
Yes.
And so I feel like there's more to come, either later tonight or tomorrow. Or maybe during the draft or pre-draft on Wednesday night. But this is great. This is the stuff that makes it really fun. We were talking with the Hillesheims. It kind of has a home league feel to it all of a sudden today, with all the trash talking and the back and forth, and I had some people messaging me on the side and asking me questions about this or that, and really, really exciting. I don't know why we're excited, because the draft is going to be brutal. What do you guys? How do you guys feel about the draft and your draft spot on Wednesday night?
I think it was our 5th choice, I believe, Willie. I think it was our 5th choice. Yeah. It's like Jerroll and Kyle said. There's really not a it's not like there's a soft spot in this draft. I mean, it's 12 great teams all going after this, but we've drafted from the back plenty this year, and we're ready to do it again. We do like the fact we weren't 12. Nothing against you guys, but we like to have somebody pinned in there, and so
I mean, we're
happy about that.
Yeah,
you never know. That could be a wild card at 12. There might be some names you're not expecting to go tomorrow, Wednesday.
Hey, same. I think it's going to be very wild in this one for sure.
The 2 names I told Josh today, I think he hung up the phone twice on me already. So we'll see. We'll see if he lets me do them.
Hey, go for your guys.
Go for your guys. That's right.
And that's what we're talking about. Like, and you guys obviously agree. Like, how do you think guys are just going to get pushed up like crazy? Do you think it's going to be more like Vegas?
I think it's going to be very similar to the live events. And, Bill and I have been discussing this. Obviously, we go to New York, and with those sharp rooms, this is kind of like a preseason game to that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I told Willie this. I said it's got this feel of like I play in the New York Super, which is by far the toughest league I play in. There's 12 great owners in that. There's not a soft spot in that. But that's a contained league. You're playing against, you just have to beat 11 people. We got to keep this in mind. This is still for an overall, and at least two people are coming out of this and, are going to have a shot at the whole thing. So.
Correct.
I think it'd be very impressive if you were able to cash very high out of this league.
Correct. I agree.
But you never know.
Yeah,
well, Billy did say when we made the announcement that we were getting belts for the winners, Billy said you can just hang on to ours until January. So I think he was implying that they were going to win the overall with this team that they draft on Wednesday. So
I don't know if I meant that actually. Maybe.
But All right. Well, so you guys are kind of unique in your partnership. I mean, you guys draft some teams together. Obviously, you guys have won separately. The wild thing is that you guys both teach at the same school.
Yep.
And Billy, my question for you is, at what point did you realize that Willie was good enough to partner up with and say, hey, you know what? Willing to split a team with you. You know what you're talking about.
So we were just talking about this before. So I won in 2021, and Willie and I were friends then, but we didn't hang out nearly as much as we do now and talk as much as we do now. But I know in 2022, I just said, hey, let's, the thing that stuck out to me about Willie was his passion for this, just like we all have for this. And he can reel off stuff too. I'm getting slower with it as my age goes, but he can reel off things that happened in games years ago. And this guy did this and this guy did that. And I said, this would be a good little partnership. And, we teamed together since 2022 and it's been great. I mean, he knows what he's talking about. Obviously, we don't always agree on everything, but that's part of the that's the appeal of it. But there's a lot of times we're totally aligned on players. And that's when, that makes it real easy when you're drafting.
Yeah. And obviously, with our teams, best thing I like about Bill and partnering with him is that we try to just be different, and because every draft is different. We don't have this mindset that we have to go get our guys. We like certain guys and we have agreements and disagreements, but we truly go for, again, what we see the vision, talk it out, and then just go for it at the end of the day.
Right. It'll be interesting. This is going to be, and you guys have mentioned this, I know, and I think it gives Willie and I a slight advantage because we've done this before. But, I don't know, maybe a disadvantage because we're always just talking during a draft, and you really can't be talking during the stream. It's going to be more and it's going to be a lot, I think, what Paul and Matt do when they're streaming. It's okay, there's 4 guys. Do you like 1 or 4? That kind of thing is what we're going to probably end up doing. But, we're kind of on the same level. We're putting guys in the queue, and it's we're both reading each other's minds when we're drafting. And we'll probably, I don't know where we're drafting that yet, either my house or his, but we're going to be together for that. We'll be in the same room.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So you guys have an option there that a lot of people don't, and that is to be in the same room. Me and Dan, we kind of compare this to, even though normally when we draft online, we're on a Zoom call or whatever, and we'll be doing an online draft, and we're talking just like we're talking now. When we go to Vegas, then we're whispering and we're throwing guys in the queue, and it's, do you like 1 or 2, or do you like 1 or 4, this or that, and moving them back and forth. So this has even more Vegas vibes for us. But we did our first live stream draft that we hosted last Monday night, and I'm going to tell you, that was way tougher than I thought it was going to be. But I do most of the talking, and then I am the brains of the operation. So Willie understands. Willie understands. He said you got to bring the brains of the Willie Billy team on, and that may have been in a private message. I can't remember. Trying to drive a wedge here between.
You kind of throw us off. I see, especially being right next to each other. I said I'm simply the brains of the technology side.
Yes, he is. I fully admit that. Fully admit that.
Now my math skills, however,
yeah.
I think it could be different because everybody's in their stream. Nobody's gonna be watching. Well, maybe people are watching other streams. I might openly talk more than I did on our last stream with Josh because we're 11.
Yeah.
All right, Dan.
For
12,
Dan
freezes up
we're
from
with
time
3,
to
I
time.
think,
There you
aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, my God,
again.
we all will be in our individual streams. We're going to hear Steve G across the entire U.S. Entire continent. Making that's a fact. Gamberg's out here.
Wild.
Gamberg's out here accusing about beating baby seals and stuff like that. So
I know. We had he said something about clubbing baby seals, and Chris Vacarro and PETA got all fired up. I guess it was supposed to be a saying. I don't live close enough to the ocean to know if that's a saying or not, but I was kind of taken back by it as well. But no, hilarious. Hey, so when you guys are drafting, This is a question that I was asked yesterday, and when you guys are drafting together and there's a player that you disagree on, or if as you're preparing for your drafts and however you guys set up your ADP together, how do you guys decide we're going with this guy or we're going with that guy?
I mean, a lot of times we're kind of at least we're on the same page with the position generally. We're taking a running back, a receiver, whatever it is. And a lot of times it comes down to which guy do you think has a chance? Now, if you're at the ends and you're picking, if you're at 11 and it's going back down, the other guy's not coming back, that. But you know what I'm saying? Like if you're like somewhere in the middle and which guy might have a chance to come back? I mean, Willie, I'm trying to. We pretty much just.
It's a harder question to answer.
It is because
and
when you work together, it just flows generally, and we kind of know what we like and what we don't for the most part. The talking of that takes place well before the pick, if that makes sense. Yeah. We're talking about the minute we make our next pick, we're talking about our next pick, and we're talking about the guys that'll probably be there, and so then we have a general idea what we're going to do. That's what I would say.
And the only time we really credibility a lot is that we don't let the clock drain too much. However, if there's a guy that is blatantly should not be there, then it's brought up in the discussion. And then logical points are brought across like, hey, this type of build probably is not seen too much, like in especially national contests like this, like the online championship. Like those situations are really the ones that are like drain the clock to 15 seconds. And then we live with the result. I know I keep saying that, but truly just go with our guts.
Point. Yeah, it's a good point.
So,
yeah.
So I got one more question for you guys. So Joe's out here. He's going to be making some odds for us. Greg gave us 15-1. I thought that was pretty generous. I'm not going to ask you who the favorite is. What team do you just want to beat? What's the one team out there you have to finish ahead of?
If you guys are going to be 11th, who's that team that's got to be 12th?
Yeah. You have to name somebody.
I don't know. I mean, everybody's good. I mean,
there's somebody out there.
I'll tell you. I'll say this: there's a certain team on here, and these are you listed these teams. This isn't the draft order. There's a certain team on here that gets the number one pick almost in every draft, and oh my God, they got it here again.
Yeah.
So, but no, I'm just messing around. Honestly, it's we're not shooting for one team. This is such a loaded league. We just want to we want to do the best we can and everything else.
See, this is what 90% of these NFFC high stakes guys do. They play nice beforehand. They talk like they respect each other.
Hey, Josh, all I'm going to say is I hope Pope Vacarro, and he's probably listening backstage. I hope he gives our glorious blessing. I hope obviously he has a tremendous draft. I hope he just lets us one slide and really just gives me all the free drinks at GST. That's my
that's a good point.
And Lou Weber, you're a good guy too and a good drafter. So just give me your blessing. I'm not letting Brees fall to you again like the other night. So I'm sorry.
It was real quick. It was great. I've not seen Jerroll and Kyle in I don't know what year I was there. I think it was 2020 was the last, or 2019 was the last time I was in Vegas, I think. And those guys are awesome, man. I mean, I remember sitting down with them, the two of them. It was between drafts. It was like 20 minutes just talking to them, and oh my God, like the knowledge and what they were talking about, and it was just amazing. Like a couple of really good guys, and like I got to get back out there because there's so many of you guys that go out there now that. The New York guys are great. New York's fantastic. If anybody wants to come do that, I highly recommend that. But Vegas is a blast as well.
Well, New York is a little closer to us. I may end up divorced if I went to New York and then to Las Vegas in back-to-back weekends. And then I wouldn't be able. I wouldn't be able to afford to do high stakes if I got divorced. But no, Joe Carlton said something about up here in the Northeast, we take guys outside and just tie them to the telephone pole and beat them up. And I told Dan, I was like, we better just stay down here in the Midwest, slide out to Las Vegas. I don't even think they have telephone poles in Vegas. So, New York would be very cool to get up there at some point. But, that is brutal. Like, I mean, the guys that are there,
yeah.
what a group of drafts, and you guys, there's no spacing them out. You guys slam them all into basically one day or a day and a half, don't you?
One day.
One
And
day.
it's a blast. It's awesome. And when you win a league, whether it's a prime time or a bullet or a super or whatever you do there, when you win, or an auction, when you win a league there, that's a pretty good feather in your cap for sure.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to this year, especially. So
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Absolutely. Well, this is going to be one of those weird drafts where it's live streamed and we're drafting right beside you, but we're not going to be able to hear what you're saying. You guys will be on with Doc Roto and Jay Wimmers. Jay is in the chat. Let's see here. Where'd he go? I just saw.
yeah, I can't.
Oh, here it is, right here. This is part of their code. Blue Horseshoe loves 1 and 4. I like that. What's your guys' thoughts on this? This has been brought up to me multiple times. It's going to end up probably having to be a thing. If you get last place, you're out for next year.
I think that's fair.
I think there's some interest from some people that would like to team up and slide in next year.
Sure.
I think that's a fair way to do it. And then I would maybe say, since this is like the annual or inaugural one, the team who gets knocked out gets to come back in the the next year to replace the other 12th place team, and that kind of thing. That's what I would say. But yeah, I think it's totally fair. I mean, I've had teams. I've had a few teams. Not too many to finish dead last, but sometimes you just get raged with injuries and you can't do anything about it. But sure, I'm up for that.
It's been a common theme. I think it's Josh. I think
it's going to be a thing. I mean, we are the Pope of Tribeca is hanging out backstage, and we're going to run it by him and Lou. And
you get his blessing.
Make a decision because I've had at least 3 other teams mention it, so I think everybody's going to be in favor of that. It's just as the our live stream name is on the title of the stinking thing, and we're even Greg Ambrosius says we're the biggest underdogs. So
if we get 12, I'm not making
Wednesday night.
I'm not doing any work next year.
Jerroll picked 12. We put ourselves as 12 on the flyer originally, just to hey, we're not a big deal, but everybody else is. And then
what'd you all get? Where's your KDS? I didn't even see it.
I think it was our fifth. It was our 5th choice.
Okay, so we got our 5th too. So I mean, that's not terrible. Yeah.
We tried for those first 3 picks and didn't get them.
I do like doubling up at the back end on this. It's nice to be towards the back end or towards the front, and not in the middle where you can get a little bit watered down. So I think it's going to be fun either way.
Strategy for us every time we're coming up to you guys, because we got to decide. Okay, if we like 3 guys, we're hoping one comes back, but chances are it probably won't. So we got to pick the right one, and that kind of thing. So. That's just part of being in a good draft.
Yep. All right. Well, guys, good luck. Thank you for giving us your time and coming on. Hope to have you guys on again during the season for a quick little, maybe some rib shots or something like that. Maybe it's a bad week we bring you on or a good week we bring you on. I don't know, but. Looking forward to Wednesday night. Thanks for being a part of it. Thanks for coming on the show. Appreciate you guys. And good luck in all your drafts.
Real quick with Chris, be quick. He's probably having drinks with like Michael Jordan at 10 o'clock.
I know. I'm on a tight schedule here.
He's like a celebrity. He's got a schedule, and you got to be quick with this. So
got to be a married man too. Just saying.
Yep. All right, guys. Thank you.
All right, good luck Wednesday, guys.
Thanks, guys. Good luck to you guys.
Same to y'all.
You too. See you. All right, Billy and Willie class acts as well. All right, so up next we've got Lou Weber, who last year I couldn't look up all of Lou's accolades, but last year he finished 4th in the Silver Bullet. He was 6th in the overall OC. He won the PrimeTime Consolation Championship. He was the Super Champion. He cashed in the Diamond and the Ultimate. And he made the playoffs in 10 of his 14 leagues that he was in. So Lou had a heck of a year last year. And then Chris Vacarro, the guy that everybody seems to be talking about the last few days, 2012 overall champion in the PrimeTime, 2014 NFFC Hall of Famer. Billy was a Hall of Famer as well. And he's a member of the Fantasy Empire, which the guys that do the Empire, all 4 of them's in the league. Matty Modica, Nelson Souza, Chris Vaccaro, Dan Williamson. I think it was 2 years ago that they kicked off. We'll go ahead and bring Chris, and where'd Lou go? Oh, there he is, down there. Go ahead and bring you guys on. But Chris, you and Dan and Nelson and Matt, you guys really kind of paved the way for a lot of this high stakes content that's out here with the NFFC. Before that, I wasn't really seeing anything. I don't know if Dan was, and I've had just mass respect for all 4 of you for really, putting your thoughts out there and talking about things, prior to the New York and Vegas, and then even during the season, giving your thoughts. So.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Josh. Thanks for having us on, guys. It's nice to follow up 2 class acts, like you said, with Billy and Willie. Me and Lou will probably be a little more cockier than they will be, a little less humble. But
that's why we saved you guys for last.
Billy's always a good time, man. He's always a funny guy. Fantasy Empire. We have a great time on that show. It's our 3rd year doing it. Before then, I was with Nando DeFino at The Athletic, and I really tried to just talk NFFC through those years. So, going back about 7 or 8 years ago, and then as you see today, guys like yourselves, Nelson Sousa, Modica, Spiteri, all these live streams every day, all these podcasts talking about NFFC. There's content everywhere now talking about the high stakes industry, whereas back in the day, maybe 8-10 years ago, nobody wanted to talk about high stakes. Even on Sirius XM, nobody really wanted to, everybody wanted to push the high stakes guys and the high stakes crowd off to the side a little bit. You really couldn't hold us down for too long, and here we are in the forefront of the industry now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that so a couple things that you said there. All the live streams. The live streams have been awesome. I don't think I've turned my TV on in 2 months. The live stream drafts every night have been just super interesting. I think everybody does a great job with them. But it shows how far that the community's come on the live streams, where 2 years ago, it was always the public draft board. Nobody wanted their name out there, and all the way up till now, where any given night, anybody could just have the draft room board up there with the names on it. Guys are commenting in the chat. You can say my name, you can say who I'm drafting, and it's really I want to say it's leveling out the playing field a little bit for, maybe some people that's wanting to get involved. It lets them see what 3rd round reversal is all about. Because you mentioned 3rd round reversal to most people and they're like, what is that? Why do you guys do that? So the live streams are great.
Josh, let me jump in there. I go back to the days where we would have to wait till Greg or Tom posted online championship drafts on the message board, and it wasn't boards or anything. It was just the names of the players straight down, 1 through 12, 13 through 14. You would have to do the reverse. You would have to wait until it was posted. There was no sign of getting your information for drafts or getting your eyes on drafts back in the day, 10 plus years ago. That's how far we have come to get information now, where, like you said, any night you can just jump on a live stream and watch a draft, even if you're not in a draft, and throw the 350 down to get into one of those drafts, or even now that we're going into main events time. Every night you could just watch a draft and practice that way. So it's, information overload now.
It sure beats the old ESPN mock drafts that nobody ever filled, right?
Yeah.
Steve D'Angelo says, what's up to everybody?
I got a question for you guys, because I think Lou put it in the group text this morning. You guys, me and Josh go back. We met in 5th grade. I think that was 93, Josh, and we started playing fantasy in 94.
Yeah.
You guys, I didn't realize you guys have been friends for so long. If you talk about that, and then have you always been friends, or have you been playing fantasy football for 30 plus years as well?
Yeah, I'll jump in on that. So thanks for having us, guys. Chris and I, very similar to your relationship. We've been friends for 35 years. We actually met playing Little League together. And then we wound up going to high school together. And we found out we had a lot more in common than we thought at a very young age. And we have been very close. I would argue best friends since we were little kids. Chris dragged me into this wonderful world.
And now Lou's a full-blown degenerate. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I blame Chris to highlight some of my issues. He certainly helped me get into this space. He had been doing so well here. We had been playing against one another in home leagues and stuff. And he was just like, you got to go to Vegas. We've got to go do some live drafts. You got to get involved in the NFFC. And I dipped my toe in the water for a bit. And he brought me out in 2019 for the first time. We did a live draft together. We actually did the ultimate together. And it was an absolute travesty and a nightmare because you name it on our team, they got injured and we didn't have a chance from day one. It was just a complete nightmare. And I was like, why did you bring me out here? Because now I'm hooked and we've got to figure out how to be better. So, full circle. That's kind of how it started.
That's awesome.
That's kind of, the Hillesheims. They were really the first people that we met. Frank Mamola came over after one of our first drafts and talked with Dan for probably a half hour. And shout out Frank. We're praying for you, buddy. Get well soon. Keep recovering. He's a good one. But
the best. Frankie's the
I
best.
believe
We all love him. We're all praying for him. Speak to him daily. Keep up with him. And Frankie's going to be just fine. He's going to make a full recovery, and I can't wait to get him back in New York and out to Vegas with all of us.
Absolutely.
Yep.
If he told me if he was better, he would definitely be in this draft. So, but it was the draft. I remember it pretty well. It was the draft that Frank came up afterwards. Me and Dan sitting there. I think we were in the 11 hole.
11.
We're
Yep.
sitting there. We've got our laptops, our ADP sheets, this and that, note and paper. I'm like, I'm ready to go. It's our first time out there. And this dude walks up, sits down, and all he's got is his phone. And I'm like, where's the rest of his stuff at?
Right next to
starts, and he's just scrolling on his phone, making pics, and just all nonchalant. And I'm like, who the heck is this guy? It was Lou Weber. And I'm like, all right, this guy's killing me. I've been stressed out about this, and I've got everything.
Josh, don't let him kid you, Josh. That's only because he came from the club. He came from the club at like 9 a.m. and he forgot his computer probably.
Well, I've
luckily it
noticed
was
that
all
in the years,
stored. All the information was stored already. So yeah, but most of that's probably true.
Oh man.
Yeah.
He did tell us nice pick a couple times, which made me feel really good in our first draft. Even though we finished, I think, 11th or 12th that year, I still felt good about it.
Yeah, that wasn't great, but we were like, yeah, we can definitely do this. Let's go back again. So,
first couple years of bringing Lou out there, we would try and do the drafts by day, and then we would go out and party at nighttime. We were still, in our 30s, living it up. We would hit the clubs up, walk out of there at 6, 7. Michael Edelman will tell you a great story that, when they bring up all the Hall of Famers on Saturday morning, we were just coming in from the clubs and I ran into that room and I ran right up on stage and Edelman still remembers it. He's like, man, you look like you had a rough night. I was like, I'm ready to draft though. Let's go.
I do some of my best work sometimes when I don't get to think about it. So, I remember last year we had a really late night, and I think it was going into the Saturday morning OC PrimeTime, and we went into the Saturday morning PrimeTime, and I had no time to even think about what my strategy was going to be, and I mean, I was still in the bag. I started drinking again right away at 10 in the morning. And I'm just like, all right, we're just going to wing this. And it was the best team I had all year. I thought that team was going to win it all. So you never know how this thing works itself
Maybe
out.
that's what we need to do different this year, Josh.
Yeah, get drafted.
I think I'm too old for that. I'm either too old or out of practice or something. Yeah.
Yeah, there's my guy Spiteri getting on me already. Yeah, those days are over. He lets me know on a daily basis that the good old days are over of partying and having fun. But
well, now that we've got Spiteri in the chat, I know that somewhere Maddie Modica. Last night he said it was Modica. I think he's just screwing with all of us.
The man of many names. Yeah, the
trying
man
to
of
figure out
many
how many
names.
different names he can make us pronounce.
Mhm.
You know, the whole point of bringing you on here, Chris, was to really just try to get under your guys' skin a little bit and get you guys to talk some trash to the other teams and you know, see if we could put a little wedge between you and Lou. Had no idea that you guys have been friends longer than us, so we know that's not happening. Was going to get in your head a little bit and say that, you know, we've got TMZ and boots on the ground around the Empire, and there's grumblings that maybe you're out of draft shape, like a certain tight end has been. You know, you've been vacationing a lot.
Yeah.
I think somebody called you Chris Vacation Vacarro here recently. But you know, and I was going to throw in there that maybe Paul was trying to squeeze his way into the Empire through Maddie. But after that debacle last night,
Spiteri, he's a
did you see what happened?
Yeah, see, listen, let me tell you something about Spiteri. Spiteri is he just needs the spotlight, this guy. That's why he's doing these live streams every night. This guy, I should have kicked him while he was down. He jumped in my DMs a couple years ago, you know, looking for a friend, and I befriended him. I said, you know what, let me bring this guy along. I feel bad for him. I welcomed into our friend group at the NFFC, and now this guy, he sends in texts at 6:30 every morning to the group, and he's just nonstop. And I know one of your questions is probably if there's one team I want to beat and make sure I finish ahead of in the standings, me and Lou. I don't know how Lou feels. I'm sure maybe Lou has somebody that's on his radar, but I'm not losing to Spiteri. Maddie's a good dude. Love my guy, Matty Mo. It's unfortunate that he had to carry the weight of this team of him and Spiteri. He could have went out there and found a better partner than Spiteri for sure. But it is what it is.
Can we get Maddie some Bluetooth?
It's been an ongoing process for years now.
They unplugged last night in the middle of the draft. If you didn't see it, you can't watch the shorts that Paul posted today on X. You got to go back and find it. It's right when they drafted Cam Ward. And all of a sudden, Matt's saying he can't hear anything. Paul starts freaking out. Matt takes his headphones off. He's pointing at him. And Paul's like, are you smoking a Newport? You're taking a Newport break right in the middle of the freaking draft, man. And so I'm laughing because I think that Maddie's going to go burn a heater.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, the screen goes black. Nobody knows what happens. Paul's like, we're taking Cam Ward because this and that. And then all of a sudden, Modica comes back. And he is just cracking up laughing. What'd you draft Cam Ward for? And, you know, I was in tears.
Characters, man.
It was
characters. That's why I'm looking forward to the live drafts at my bar September 4th. There's just going to be so many characters in the Steve G. You guys all know and gotten to know Stevie G. We call him the Greek. We call him the Whale. He's got a lot of different nicknames, but
he's going by
Zeus the last couple days. He's just waging war on any fantasy analyst out there, any player. He's got wars going with 17 different guys. I think half of them are going to be in the room in New York that day. I think I have to get security to come that day live because who knows what's going on. But there's a lot of sit downs that need to happen that day and things ironed out. But it's going to be a fun one for sure.
So guys, let me ask you earlier. I think I saw Billy and Willie both posted a little, AI version of them winning some title belts. And, I know Bill kind of pointed to Willie and was kind of like, Will's good at this, and that's his thing, and yada yada yada. So that was their version of trash talk. Well, earlier today on X, I think Edelman, who is pretty savvy with AI, decided to post a picture of Chris and I on AI that was, I guess, taken from what, Chris, dinner last night before.
That was dinner at Golden Steer last year.
Yeah. Right. So it was dinner from Golden Steer, and he posted a picture, and it was an AI version of, Chris, except Chris was sad in the picture. So I think I did a little bit better to kind of one up Willie a few minutes ago. I'm going to click this present button. Let's see.
Oh boy.
Screen.
Oh, I'm so scared right now.
This unexpected. Let's see.
Yeah. I deviated.
There's some great AI stuff going around, though. I'll tell you that much. But let's see.
Here we go.
Out here.
Let me know if you can see it.
I could pop it on the stage.
Is it up yet or no?
I don't see anything.
Josh, try to add it. It won't let me add it.
Come on.
It says I'm sharing.
This is where everyone being not tech savvy is.
It has literally worked for everything else. This is
there it is.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we go.
Put a nice smile on Chris's face. We threw some title belts in there.
That's why he's my best friend. That's 35 years right there.
So we're ready to go. We're going to be disappointed if we don't do anything but bring home some title belts. This OC means a little bit more than the rest of them.
Well, that's the thing, Lou. Like what I've learned. So when we first brought this up, Dan was like, we call it tag team this or that. And I'm like, no, man, we don't want it tied to wrestling. Like trying to put that in my past, from my childhood. And it won't escape me. And then the next thing you know, Lou's like posting all this like nostalgic wrestling stuff on X. And I'm like, dude,
so good. We grew up on
awesome,
guys.
That's it. Well, I mean, look, we named our team the Mega Powers. We're going to be
I saw
Hogan
that.
And Savage. That's what we're here for.
Hogan and Savage.
I don't know if you guys heard this or not, but yesterday, Doc Roto, as the show came on yesterday, he was like, today we got Josh Bowling. He's like, he's a tag team partner with Dan Jewett. They tag team draft all their high stakes stuff. He's like, imagine the Road Warriors, Hawk and Animal. He's like, today I've got Animal. And I think my feelings were a little hurt. I don't know whether to be hurt by that, how to take that he referred to me as the Animal.
He wasn't wrong.
Oh, you wanted to be Hawk, huh, Josh?
I don't know. I was going for like, we were hoping, maybe he'd go with something a little.
Could have been a lot worse, man. You guys could have been the Natural Disasters or something else.
The Nasty Boys.
Yeah.
So,
Mario. Rockers. What was it? Midnight Express.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
But hey, when you guys draft together, how do you guys decide? This is something got asked to me, and it's been asked me a few times. But we've been asking all the tag teams that. How do you guys decide when you differ on a player and it's coming up on your pick and you're trying to decide, do we take this guy or do we take that guy? Who wins that battle?
I don't think it's a win. Lou, you want to take that one? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's a great question. I mean, we haven't done a lot of these, so we haven't really partnered much. Besides him introducing me, and we started to do that early on. We kind of have gone our separate ways, like Hogan and Savage did. But we're reuniting for this one.
Back together, yeah. Only Miss Elizabeth.
So it's going to be interesting. It's certainly something that we're going to discuss, especially now knowing our draft position. And we started to have some idea of, where we want to get started and where we want to go from there. So we'll have a range of players that we're interested in. And, obviously you're on a clock, so you don't have a lot of time to determine. But I think we talk enough about football on a regular basis that I think we both know where we want this to go and who we're into and, what the build we want to look like is. So most of that gets ironed out before. I don't think we'll we know who we don't like and maybe who we're out on. So that kind of makes some of that conversation easier. It's just a matter of what we want that build to look like.
Yeah, and like Lou said, we haven't partnered much, as in like, actually doing teams together and stuff, but we do talk on a daily basis about fantasy drafts and NFFC and what we're seeing and liking, and yeah, we're in on this guy and we're out on this guy. Usually on a yearly basis, we're pretty much in step with who we are in on and who we're out on. Obviously we're not going to agree on every player. I would assume that, as in times past when we've drafted together, if we are opposite on a certain pick, we don't see the same way on something, then maybe we just skip that player, and go to a guy that we do agree on. But the big thing here is that we'll be doing a live stream during the draft. It's not like it's just going to be me and Lou together talking. So, we will be on Spiteri and Modica's podcast, live stream doing that. And, it's not easy when you do a live stream and you're trying to talk out drafts, even when it's your one team, never mind two teams doing it at the same time. So it's definitely going to be a nice challenge. And these challenges are great. Something new like this, a new wrinkle into drafting is fun. And I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's me and Dan. So last Monday night, you had the 12 pick. We live streamed that draft. That was the first one that we've hosted and live streamed. And that was a lot tougher than what we were thinking it was going to be, for sure.
There's definitely an art to talking without talking, especially when you have, half the draft room watching you, but this one will be a little different because we're all going to be watching our own, or be in our own streams. So yeah. I'm just curious what you guys think too. I've asked this to everybody. How do you guys think this draft's going to go? Do you think it's just going to be completely off the rails? Do you think it's going to be closer to ADP? Do you think guys are going to just get pushed up?
Well, it's funny because I think most of the guys that are in this,
I think there'll be guys that are, okay.
Right. I mean, I think most of the guys that are in the league have done so much volume already. They've set that ADP. So I don't think I don't know if it'll go, so to speak, off the rails, but I think sure, everybody wants to win the overall, but it's not coming out of this league. I think it would be extremely short-sighted to believe that the overall champion is going to come from here. And I say that only because you've got a lot of really talented people. I don't see there being a ton of value sliding too far. So I think it'll be, I don't want to say more conservative, but I think people are going to try to win and want to do it more like a standalone league than it is trying to win an overall championship. And that may change ADP quite a bit because I think there'll be a different focus on what your overall build looks like.
I'll say this to follow up on Lou's point. You look at the names in this draft. There's a lot of wide receiver whores in this draft. Guys
talked about that.
Yeah, guys that you see on a nightly basis starting 4 wide. You put us all together. Usually on a nightly basis, you get in these drafts. There's always 3 or 4 teams that you don't recognize their names. Maybe they're not familiar with the way NFFC drafts go. I just came out of an online championship 2 minutes before I got on here, and guys on their live stream that I was listening to, like, I can't believe how wide receivers are going so fast. What's going on over here at the NFFC? They had one receiver through like 5 rounds, and like their number 2 receiver was like Michael Wilson in the 8th. Like they're done, they're shot.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen in this draft. Everybody knows you got to get your yellow stickers quick, and I assume that there'll be 12 owners and 12 teams here that are looking to do that.
Dan and Josh, did I hear there was going to be some sort of toilet bowl or somebody if you finish in last? I've had 3 or 4 other teams reach out to me. We talked to the Hillesheims. We got their opinion earlier. We talked to Willie and Billy, got their opinion. So I think it's last team, you're out. And then, somebody new gets in. One of the first names that pops in my head is Edelman. How did Edelman avoid this debacle of a league? I'm not sure, but he's sitting back. Maybe he can be the judge of the
post-draft preseason start, who's coming out on top with their draft build.
And I think by next year, Edelman will take a spot for whoever finishes last, and it'll be an Edelman team because Junior Edelman is on the rise.
Nice.
He won his first online championship league, and we're still hearing about it. He might be the brains of the operation. He might take over Dad's place real quick.
I understand in sports it being built into your DNA, but this might be the first drafting that I've, that's built into the DNA.
If I know him well enough, he's probably doing the 8 and 9 o'clock online championship separate, knowing that none of these names will be in either one of those leagues. So
that's pretty smart.
Strategic.
Yeah.
He's jumping in the waters. He's taking advantage.
I never thought of that. That's smart.
So when I asked Greg, like all of us, we mentioned this on our first podcast 6 weeks ago, just trying to get new people involved, and I didn't think that anybody else, like any of the the veteran guys, would want to jump in this. And immediately people started reaching out, and after we got to like 7-8 teams, I was like, I need to reach out to Greg and see if we can even facilitate like figuring out how to get all of these people that wants in to, to do it. So then once he said he could, he said, give me a date. And I was like, we should do like 9 o'clock, not an 8 or a 10. We should do a 9 o'clock. And I really thought that if we did a 9 o'clock, that there wouldn't be another 9 o'clock posted since it was a one-off time slot. Mm-hmm. And there's another 9 o'clock that's been posted. So yeah, it's a great time for people to jump in and avoid at least 24 of the regulars.
Yeah.
Hell, I might leave our stream and draft one of those, Josh. You're on your own.
Well,
Josh, to that point right there, the smart people, they wait and they draft on September 4th online at home. They know all the Sharks are live in New York.
Oh, so you guys are?
September 4th is a really big sign up for online drafters at home. The people that aren't making it to New York that are, like the veteran guys, you'll see they're all in September 4th because they know we're doing live drafts that day. It's a smart process.
We may or may not have a couple drafts that weekend.
Yeah, there you go.
A couple of our bigger drafts.
You can't avoid we keep trying to pick these time slots. All right, well, let's do it on this night. And you get in there and it's like, geez, man, there's still 6 heavy hitters in this one, 5 heavy hitters. And you know what? You can't avoid the heavy hitters in the NFFC. Every now and then you get lucky in a night owl. Let's close out one more question, because I want to make sure that we jump off so that I can watch the show that Paul has put so much work into to get his NFL insider to tell us about J.K. Dobbins' hamstring.
Believe me, we've heard all about it for days with Paul. He's got his Denver Bronco beat reporter on. I tell him he's mainstream now. He's a big shot.
He is. They just so happen to be the team that if we finish 11th, we want them to be 12th. They had us preempted one night. They did a live stream at 8 o'clock, and I'm like, what's that all about on a Monday? We go on 8:30 on Mondays. Ask both of you this real quick. I wanted to ask the other guys and didn't get a chance to. Mm-hmm. What is it that, because I think that the NFFC drafters and especially you guys that have won the overalls, that's been doing it a long time, but we think and we hear it said that you guys are the sharpest drafters out there, some of the sharpest minds. And then you get guys that are looking and from the outside in, like maybe at 8 o'clock from that live stream, saying, what are these guys doing drafting Mika Ibuka in the second round? That's crazy. What is it that makes the NFFC guys sharp?
Lou, you want to take that one first?
Yeah, sure. So one of the things that, iron sharpens iron. Well, that's what happens here in the NFFC. There is no opportunity to get a soft room. You're going to be up against some of the best players. And, if you think you're going to get, sometimes I love to see like the ESPN ADPs or, you see like a CBS ADP, and then you see where some of those players are going, in the NFFC. It's because those people that are putting in the reps, that are doing 50, 100, 200 leagues. They're in these fields every day, and there is no edge to be gained. They're setting the market. They're real true market setters. So you either rise to that occasion, or this isn't the place for you to play. And that's just the hard reality of being in the NFFC. There's probably plenty of easier places to go to try to compete. But truthfully, I think the best players compete in the NFFC.
Yeah, I mean, the top players that are constantly drafting, you get into a rhythm and you start to know exactly how the boards are falling. You start to know, you start to have a sense that, all right, this player is a hot name on the board and he's my guy, and I got to start moving him up from round 9 up to 8. This guy's a cold name. I got to move him down from 7 to, I could get away with him falling to round 8 now, I believe, because people are a little bit off him. I've said this for a long time. Drafting is an art form. Anybody could sign up for a draft, pick players, and maybe sometimes come up with a good team. But consistently, the top players that have been doing this for a long time, winning consistently year after year for a long time, they study it. They study the boards. They treat it like it's an art form. You can't throw a situation at them in any draft that they can't get themselves out of. You got plan A, B, C, D, and straight through. If it's a heavy running back room, all right, well, now I'm going wide receiver. You got all the answers to the test is basically what I'm telling you guys, and that comes with repetitiveness of studying these boards and being a little bit of obsessed with it, So yeah. That's the way I always explain it to people.
I think Edelman did a good job of that last night. I think he started out a little bit different, but he never flinched, and he ended up building a really good team. So that's my thing. The NFFC guys, I feel like even some of the guys that play baseball, fantasy baseball, or with the NFBC, it feels like football is always at the front of their mind. We're always grinding. We're always thinking about it. We don't put ourselves up there with you guys, but we respect everything you guys do. We listen, we watch, and appreciate you guys sharing insight on the Empire, all the live streams. Chris, you're on with Greg Ambrosius tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's our annual live stream every year. Me and the Prez do it, and it's basically like a little bit of a State of the Union. We'll touch on everything talk about the New York drafts. Love catching up with Greg.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Well, guys, it's about time for the Laurel and Hardy show to kick off here in 3 minutes over at Paul Spateri's channel. I dropped the link in the comments on the Twitter post. So if you're wanting to watch that live stream, it'll be well worth it. You'll laugh, you'll learn something, and you'll hear from the Broncos insider. So I'm looking forward to watching that. You can catch Chris on the Fantasy Empire. Did I hear right? Is Lou on there? Is Lou a guest? Did I hear?
I gotta get Lou on.
Okay.
Soon, I don't have him scheduled yet.
Maddie
I talked to Lou enough. I don't need to bring him on.
Maddie Modica must have been going through withdrawals last night and all flustered. I thought I heard him say that on the live stream. But well, Lou, listen, if they don't let you on the Empire, we will gladly accept you over here. You're a wealth of knowledge, and you're a smooth talker too when it comes to fantasy football. Heard you a couple times on the radio, man, and you don't flinch when they throw the questions at you, and that's not easy. So, but we appreciate you guys. We appreciate you guys giving us time to come on here and talk about this fun draft we've got coming up Wednesday night, and then look forward to seeing you guys in Vegas here in about 4 weeks.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Thanks for having us, guys. Look forward to it.
Thanks so much, guys. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
See you guys.
Take care.
All right. Well, Dan, we've had
a heck of a lineup.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's funny is you sat here and wrote down questions and stuff like that. And then, all of these guys are pros and love to talk like me and you do about football. So once you just open the door, it starts coming out. And, later on, we'll get an opportunity to have some of these guys back. When it's not football season, and we'll get a little more in depth with them. But that was a great show.
It was really cool to see 3 different perspectives with the partners. Me and you have been doing it for a long time and been partners for 7 or 8 years in the high stakes. Then you had the father-son who's, won an OC. We just had lifelong best friends who really don't play together. So it's going to be really interesting Wednesday. And then you throw in Billy and Will, who draft together, but have won separately on their own.
But didn't start drafting together until about 4 years ago.
It's going to be so cool Wednesday night. I'm so excited. Like I want to watch my stream, and I'm going to end up watching all 5 streams that night. To see how everybody works everything out and hear 24 really good or 22 great minds, and then you have us you can listen to as well. But and I'm really looking forward to Wednesday. It is this Wednesday, 9 p.m. Josh has all of the live streams in his X tweet, whatever you call it. There'll be 5 different live streams going on. 4 of them have 2 sets of teams, and then we have a total of 3 set of teams on ours, and it's all listed on there.
Yep. So we are the rookie streamers. We've done one live stream draft that we hosted. We've done a bunch of online drafts and stuff like that. But the first time that we hosted one was a week ago. So we've got the Hillesheims, Kyle and Jerroll are going to be on with us. Father and son, if you're just tuning in, father and son tag team that won the PrimeTime overall championship. $200,000, I believe, is what the prize was when they won that. So that's awesome. Willie and Billy, that was on with us tonight. They both won individually, and they're drafting together. So they're going to be on Doc Roto. Chris Vacarro and Lou Weber, they're going to be on with Paul and Maddie, who are firing up right now.
You should be on
their
now.
Draft. Yep, their draft's going live. And we'll have Will Hobbs and Evangelo. Forgive me if I'm saying your name wrong. I believe it's Lilas. He is Ruthless on X. Will Hobbs is the Prophet on X. And I have named them the Ruthless Prophet. So
check out the Smack Talk. They've been starting the Smack Talk already.
The trash talk is fired up. You see my X account right there underneath my chin, covering part of my beard. You see Dan's right next to his name. If you go follow us on X, we'll be sharing the crap out of this thing for the next couple of days. We'll be sharing all 5 of the links so that it's easy for you to have access to go to the YouTube channels. One thing we ask is that when you go to the YouTube channels, please like and subscribe. To those, it's free to subscribe on YouTube. Hit your reminders, because all 5 of these channels are putting out fantasy football content, doing multiple live stream drafts all week long. Here at the Fantasy Savvy channel, Steve D'Angelo, Mr. Fantasy Savvy himself, he hits a lot of late night drafts. He hits the Night Owls, which is the midnight OC online championships. Him and Joe Carlton are going to be drafting over at Sports Affiliation. So, and Dan, that's it.
That's it.
As Doc Roto led me in with yesterday. Oh, what a rush. See you Wednesday.
See ya.